got a call from a friend a few weeks ago, and he was telling me about an open contract sitting on SAM.gov. That's the federal procurement database for 18,000 backlog inspections. Paid work, real money, already allocated, and I couldn't bid on it. Not because I'm not qualified, because I am. Not because it's hard work. It truly isn't. But because I don't have a roster of inspectors on payroll. And the firms that do bid on it, they're going to turn around and pay whoever they can get $5, $6, $10 per inspection. Now, to some of y'all, $10, $15 sounds like a lot based on what you're getting paid now. And I've seen those rates. But that's it. On a contract worth potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So today I want to talk about who is actually getting this money, why the same few national firms keep winning, what you need to know before you decide to client or vendor with anyone in this industry. So let me give you some context on why this video is relevant today, why this data is necessary right now. We are in a weird economy. Everybody knows it. Everybody feels it. Employment just came in at 4.3% nationally as of March last month. And that number is actually lower than that or it's higher than that because 396,000 people dropped out of the labor force last month. You've seen the LinkedIn post, someone with degrees and 20 years of being laid off or fired because AI is being baked into the infrastructure and their role is no longer necessary. You've seen how it's affected government workers, TSA, on the government shutdown, them not being paid for over a month, going on 2 months now. So everybody is grinding. Everybody is trying to make ends meet. Everybody's looking for income or looking for a new path forward. And gas is on average $4.12 a gallon. Let's do the math. If a company is paying you $5, $6 to do a 5-minute drive-by inspection, and depending on your area, you could be driving out 30 minutes or more. The math is not mathing, but national firms know that somebody's going to accept that work in hopes of getting their work clustered in an area and profiting something. As long as they can put gas in their car and put food in their stomachs, some people take that as a win. Not considering you're covering your own expenses, not only gas, but car repairs, wear and tear, your insurance, your health insurance, your business insurance, your supplies, your time, if you're even paying yourself anything, all those things fall on you. So $5, $6 per inspection to go wherever in your territory to take those pictures. And somebody, and I know because there are Facebook groups full of people who are doing just that and thinking that that's it. $15 sounds great. So the more gas you spend and the lower those fees are, or those payouts for those inspections, your profit margin shrinks to the point where you're just working for gas. So the type of work you do, being knowledgeable about the different types of inspections that exist and who you decide to work and vendor for is more important now than ever. So here's how the system works. And nobody talks about this clearly enough. I've seen all the videos where we're talking about the pros of doing inspections. The sense of freedom. You don't have to punch a clock. You can kind of schedule your routes and you're outside, so you're not, stuck to a desk. But what we're not talking about is how today's events are affecting our job options, our routes, the market being saturated because people are losing their jobs and they need a way to make money, the decrease in pay, and some can't even decrease because they're already paying as low as they can go. So taking pennies on the dollar just to make ends meet, just to say you have something. Other things are affecting our profit margin. The tension from overseas, those things are affecting our profit margin and our volume as well. So just to be clear, a government agency or a large servicer like HUD, Fannie Mae, or a bank, they need inspections done, right? On thousands of properties or assets, cars, vehicles, boats, things of that sort. They don't go find individual inspectors. Like they're not going to come knock on your door and say, hey, can you do this inspection for us? They don't go on LinkedIn looking for inspectors. They post a contract on SAM.gov or run a vendor qualification process, and they award it to a national firm most times. A company like Safeguard, CoreLogic, or ServiceLink, those national firms have the infrastructure, they have the compliance processes in place, and they have the insurance. So they usually win the contract. Now then they go out and they get independent contractors, that's me and you, and they offer them $5, $6, $7, $8, $10, $15 per inspection. That same inspection that the national firm billed the government anywhere from $50 to $150, you're doing the physical work, they're keeping the spread, and you're getting paid pennies for it. That's the game right now. That's been the game for a very long time. Now, I'm not saying don't vendor for national firms. I am saying know exactly what game you're in before you agree to play it. Because if you're spending $4.12 a gallon on gas and you're doing 5-minute drive-bys, again, for, let's say, $10 a pop, the math is going to turn against you and you're going to be in the hole, not being able to cover just your basic expenses, not being able to go out and do inspections on the times you committed to because you don't have gas or gas is out in your area. That happens. So let me break down what a field inspection actually is, because a lot of people watching this come from different backgrounds, like rideshare, delivery drivers, realtors, notaries, gig workers. And this industry is not always explained plainly or clearly. There are two main lines of work in field services. Let's start there. If we dial back the lens, field services is the umbrella term. There's so many different types of roles and responsibilities under that umbrella. But the two main ones are property inspections and property preservation. Inspections are exactly what they sound like. You drive to a property, you assess and photograph its condition, you fill out a report, short report, and you're done. Most drive-by inspections take 5 to 10 minutes, if that. Property inspections are more hands-on. You need contractors who are securing vacant homes, winterizing, lawn maintenance, boarding up windows. So different skill sets, different pay structure. On the inspection side, in a dense metro area like Atlanta or Houston, an experienced inspector can hit 4 to 6 or more properties per hour. If you're new to the territory and you have to get used to it, you may be at 3 or 4 inspections per hour. Now you take $6 times 3 inspections starting out. That's $18 per hour. We're not counting gas and all your other expenses. That's $18 per hour. You're responsible for everything outside of that, all of your expenses and stuff. Now let's say at a $20 per inspection, it's $80 to $120 per hour of driving in a rural or a spread out territory. That math looks very different than the math of driving in a condensed city where those inspections or those properties are right on top of each other. You might drive 20 minutes for a $18 inspection. That's why territory intel matters so much before you sign up with anyone. So if someone tells you, hey, we can guarantee you 20 inspections in your area, and you live in the country, those due dates are usually within the same 2-week window, and you live in the country. Imagine how much gas, how much mileage you're going to have to put on your car, how much gas you're going to have to put into your tank to do those 20, say 50 inspections. It sounds good at first, 50 inspections. But when you look at all the other variables, it's really not worth it. So that's why it's very important to know who you're working with. Now, so what do you actually do with this information? You find out who's hiring, you find out who has work in your area, and you want to get started. What do you actually do? A few things first. If you want to work in this industry, it's still a solid move. It's still lucrative. The work is there. Like I just said, on SAM.gov, they awarded a company $18,000 in backlog inspections, meaning that work is going to have to be turned over fairly quickly, which the firm who gets the award should be offering you more than the average pay because you're having to flip that inspection over pretty quickly. It's backlogged, and they want to make a good impression on that government agency, so they want to get those inspections back to them as soon as possible. The better job you do, the sooner your turnaround rate is, the more favor you get with that company that you're getting inspections from. Then you may have negotiating power, dominance of your territory, all those different things come into play. Now, those 18,000 inspections, that work is going somewhere. Someone's going to get paid to do those 18,000 inspections. It might as well be someone who knows what they're signed up for. Someone who has a lay of the land, not only of their territory, but the business process behind it. Second, before you vendor for any firm, do your homework. Do your homework. Please do your homework. There are firms out there who are not paying their contractors. They're giving them the work, getting the work submitted, and not paying them. have legal proceedings, have terrible reviews, have all kinds of feedback from their vendors about their company practices, their customer service, their pay schedules. This is why I built Nested Objects, because I've been in the field. I've been on the receiving end of missed checks, excuses, unanswered calls, ignored correspondence, wear and tear on my car, exhaustion in the field, being chased by a dog, being threatened by a resident, being in unsafe situations. But these are not things that other influencers or firms are going to warn you about. All that plays into your success as an inspector. And this is intel that you absolutely need before you go into the field. On Nested Objects, on the Member Hub, you have their ratings and reviews. You have a court copy of their legal proceedings. You have their history, their services, but you want to look at the company as a whole. Look in different social media groups like Facebook. There's a lot of great Facebook groups where inspectors gather to talk about companies and opportunities. You get a lot of information and background about a company there. Look at what the vendors are saying, the ones who work for them. Get an idea, do your homework for your own background. A firm that pays $18 in a dense city might net you more than a firm paying $25 in a rural county. The rate isn't the whole story. That's exactly why I built Nested Objects. The intel is there for this exact reason. It's a platform I built specifically for field service workers, inspectors, notaries, realtors, to find vetted firms, meaning that I've vetted out their information, verified it, and understand who's paying fairly, access training. The training is the best that I've seen thus far. And being that I'm in tech, I built the training around real use cases, real scenarios, and future-proofed it for scaling into this AI-driven, landscape. So you'd be prepared for every scenario. And if you can't tell, I'm pretty direct and honest because, again, I've been there. You can join for free and you'll get a sample of what's offered. There are membership plans. I have people who are on the Pro plan, which gives them intel that you won't get anywhere else. They get prime access to tools. They get scheduled bookings one-on-one with me where we talk strategy. And then there are other bookings where you can just talk and just, shoot the stuff about what's going on in the industry and get suggestions and ideas. I'm not going to pretend like it's a magic answer because the grind is still yours. You still have to get out and do the work. But walking in with information is better than walking in blind. And when you're dealing with people and their assets and security, you do not want to walk in blind. You do not just want to assume that it's taking pictures of someone's house, because there have been several times where, as a newbie, I thought that was just it. It was just that easy. Until you have a resident who does not look like you, who's walking up to your car asking you, what are you doing? And threatening to call the cops on you because all they see is that you're taking pictures of their home. If you've been watching this and thinking, okay, this is the industry that I want to be in, or I'm already in it and I want to make smarter decisions or moves, you can go to members.nestedobjects.com or nestedobjects.com. There are two sides to the business. There's the B2C, which is for the members, and then the B2B, which is for the firms, because, oh yes, the firms have a very specific and overwhelmingly common or shared pain point, and that's finding reliable inspectors. So the phase 2 of the platform is for the firms, where vetted inspectors, those who have completed the training, been certified, have their background checks up to date, verify their identity and their information, they'll be prioritized to those firms for work. But yeah, if it's something that you want to get into, create a free account. You'll get access to the firm directory, a sample of 6 of what those 6 firms look like as far as the data and the information that you get. You'll get access to real intel on who's hiring, what they pay, their background, their reputation, like how they treat and value their vendors. The link will be in the description. And if this video is useful or helpful, subscribe. I'm dropping content like this every couple of days. I'm getting back into the routine of it because it's summertime. Well, it's spring, but it's ramping up in summer, and that's when the volume starts to hit. So you want to hit the ground moving and ready and prepared with this information. Share it with someone working a gig right now who's trying to figure out their next move, who's sick of those $2 and $3 tips from rideshare or having people in their car. All right, I'll see you on the next one.